What's up, you Red Brick family? This is Chief, back on the Red Brick Road of Meltology, and we're gonna just talk here for a minute. So, we're gonna book over here and take a look at the realm as I give you a little narrative, okay? Uh, we're not talking about politics, we're not talking about distractions, we're not talking about culture wars. We're talking about the ground beneath your feet. Because what if I told you you don't live on a normal civilization? You live on a crime scene. And the tape has been up for centuries. But instead of yellow tape, they use textbooks, they use museums, they use controlled narratives, they use ridicule. And most people walk right past it. Let's talk about Meltology. I'm trying to get some subs on board, some people to talk about this and help in regard to what we talk about in Meltology. Meltology isn't just a theory, it's an observation. It's the uncomfortable realization that the landscape doesn't behave like it's supposed to. Mountains that look liquefied, stone that flows like wax, cathedrals that appear grown rather than built, bricks fused together as if they were subjected to impossible heat. And when you really look, you don't see erosion, you see aftermath. You don't see natural randomness, you see structure distorted. Meltology asks a forbidden question. What if our terrain is the residue of something catastrophic? Not gradual, not evolutionary, but sudden. And if that's true, then history isn't missing pages, it's missing chapters. The crime scene. Imagine walking into a house, walls melted, ceilings collapsed, metal twisted, glass fused into waves. You wouldn't say, "Ah, yes, this took 300 million years of gentle wind." You'd say, "What happened here?" Now look at certain mountain ranges. Look at rock faces that appear folded like fabric. Look at massive stone structures that don't fit the narrative of primitive tooling. Meltology says the earth shows signs of thermal trauma. And if there was trauma, there was an event. Someone remembers, but not you. Every civilization runs on energy: wood, coal, oil, electricity. Energy determines freedom. Now, here's the meltologist perspective. What if ancient structures weren't decorative? What if they were conductive? What if cathedrals weren't merely religious monuments, but resonance devices? What if domes, spires, and ornate geometry weren't aesthetic, but functional? If a past civilization understood atmospheric electricity, if energy was harvested rather than sold, then control of energy becomes control of humanity. And once energy is monetized, you are metered. Every light switch, every mile driven, every watt consumed, measured, tracked, billed. If free energy once existed, even locally, it would be the greatest secret ever buried, because free energy creates free people. Here's the thing: Con- control doesn't require chains, it requires consensus. If you control education, you control perception. If you control academia, you control legitimacy. If you control ridicule, you can control inquiry. Most people don't reject meltology because they've studied it. They reject it because they've been conditioned to. The fastest way to kill a question is to mock it. Conspiracy theorist, case closed. But meltology isn't about paranoia. It's about pattern recognition. And patterns don't lie, they just wait. You might say, if something happened, so what? Here's why it matters. Our history has been compressed, edited, or reinterpreted. Then our understanding of progress is flawed. We believe we are the peak. We believe we are the most advanced. But if we are rebuilding, what if we are inheriting ruins and calling them nature? What if civilization is cyclical, not linear? If we are on a crime scene, then we are also survivors, and survivors deserve truth. There's a strange phenomenon. When people are shown anomalies, they look away, not because they can't see, but because seeing destabilizes identity. If the ground beneath you isn't what you thought, then what else isn't? It's easier to laugh. It's easier to scroll. It's easier to attack the messenger. Meltology isn't dangerous because it's violent. It's dangerous because it invites independent thought. Now let's talk about something important, carefully. Throughout history, there have always been elite circles, philosophical orders, private societies, power networks. That's not speculation, that's history. Power concentrates, knowledge concentrates, influence concentrates. The question isn't whether powerful groups exist. The question is whether all knowledge is equally distributed. And history tells us it never is. So, if knowledge about energy systems, ancient architecture, or catastrophic resets existed, would it be public or curated? This isn't about blaming a specific group. It's about understanding that power protects itself, always has, always will. Why red brick? Because brick is civilization, brick is structure, brick is uniformity. But what happens when brick melts? It loses its edges, it loses its identity, it becomes something else. Meltology says we are living in the aftermath of melted structures, not just physically, mentally, culturally, spiritually. The realm has been melted, and we're talking through it, calling it normal. Awakening doesn't mean rage, it doesn't mean fear, it means observation. Look at the terrain, look at the architecture, look at the inconsistencies. Ask questions without demanding immediate answers. The moment you realize something doesn't add up, you step off the script. And that is freedom, folks. So, to my Red Brick family and to those who I want to come on board to the Red Brick family, I'm not asking you to believe me. I'm not asking you to look because if we truly live on a crime scene, then the greatest theft wasn't gold, it wasn't land, it was memory. And once memory is gone, control becomes easy. This isn't about doom. It isn't about discernment. This is about this isn't about fear. It's about awareness. And awareness is the first step toward freedom. This is Chief. They call me Red Brick Bob. Um, and the Red Brick Road continues. I want you all to stay curious, stay grounded, and keep looking at the realm because it's clearer than you think. We need to unite. We don't need to be so divided in our the red brick road. And we hear so much about I did this, I said this, blah blah this. We're becoming the same way those people have become who hid this stuff on us. And that's not what it's about, folks. It's about clarity, informing the people what really went down. So let's do something greater than this division amongst our own group uh, in regard to thoughts and what you believe and Oh, I got the answers, and you're a god tard, and there ain't no God, and this and that. Just so much nonsense is starting to form once again in Meltology, and no unity. You see, why aren't my red brick souls gathering around one another? And every time, I see everyone want to drop a little icon. You can't, nobody can formulate a sentence to talk about it, try to get more people involved. You know what? Since 2019, I've only seen the same faces. We're not making progress. Our wheels are spinning, and we need to unite and get busy. Um, I'm getting old. I don't know how much time I got left here in this realm. Maybe a dog's life. So we have to pass the brick. We got to pass the brick to the next generation. I got a grandson I inform about Meltology, and he's very smart. I'm not just saying that. When he was 5 to me, I said to him, "Man, you need to get away from playing all them games." He looks at me and he says, "That's my prerogative." That's what he said to me, a 5-year old. And I go, "You don't even know what that word means." And he said, "Yeah, that's my choice." So we need to start educating our children earlier and earlier. These public schools are just brainwashing our kids to be ignorant, and that's the truth. So, love your neighbor like you love yourself, and let's start uniting more, um, being kinder to one another. Shine this onto the world that we're going to make a difference. And I believe we are, but we need to step it up, folks. Um, I don't know what else to say right now. I've been battling um, what they're dropping in the air, like other people all around the world, some respiratory problem that it's taken a long time to try to kick. I've been trying to kick this for over a month. So I'm going to close and maybe open a live stream later or something. I hope you can get involved. And those people who are not aware of Meltology, come on board. Like, share, and subscribe and learn Meltology. It will change your life, folks. You'll never see this realm the same once you see it. We indeed live on a crime scene. And a big shout out to Deborah, the red brick chick who just lost her mother. I feel you in my heart and soul, lady. I lost 2 brothers in 2025 to alcohol and at the hand of these doctors. And that's the absolute truth. So take good care of yourself and know we love you. So we're going to head out of here and we ask you to look around. Don't parrot the things that you've been told. Get involved. Use your own mind. Don't believe what I'm telling you. Look around. Hear what I'm saying and then look. Say, what's going on here? We live on a crime scene, folks. This was all infrastructure once. This wasn't, oops, this is natural. This is not natural, folks. The Grand Canyon isn't natural. So many things all over this realm. They're not natural, folks. We live on a buried, melted civilization, and we need you opening your eyes. So until next time, peace!